A lot of my friends know that I'm very interested in this race and the upcoming election. And I wanted to just like address a few things and really to get some of your feedback as well. And we've all had about 9 or 10 years of Donald Trump to figure this all out. And you know, I'm somewhat incredulous, and so are some of my friends who are like-minded, that people would still actually vote for this guy. One of the reasons why I've been so passionate about this election is I wanted to talk about how Donald Trump is just a clear and present danger to everyone in this country. Sometimes people will say to me, "Oh, I don't talk about politics. I don't want to talk about politics." This is not about politics. This has nothing to do with politics. This is about human decency. This is about morality. This is about being able to see through someone who's a snake oil salesman, someone who has a long history of abusing people for his own benefit. So I think there are a few groups who continue to support him. One is a lot of men just full of testosterone and anger and aggression who continue to believe in this guy. What the hell do you believe in? Misogyny? Abuse of women? People that break the law? What do you believe in? So I'm going to talk about one of the groups that I'm especially pissed off at, and that's law enforcement. So you have these people, mostly men, who are behind Trump 100%. They're the law and order guys. And they're supporting a guy who has a history of breaking the law, a white-collar criminal, a guy who's ripped off people his entire life. It's there. The facts are there. A man who has abused women, a man who is convicted of sexual assault, a man who is a misogynist. And these police officers and these firefighters continue to support this guy. You know, when the whole George Floyd thing went down and people were taking a closer look at law enforcement, you had a tough time. And by the way, I'm not against law enforcement. I'm not against police officers or firefighters. We need you, but we don't need you to have this selective idea of what a crime is and which crimes you should be enforcing. And by the way, when Trump shows up in New York and he's on trial for serious felonies, and you, police officers, New York City police officers, New York City firefighters, you go and you take your selfies with Donald Trump. You let Donald Trump deliver pizza to the firehouse. What a horrible freaking optic. What the hell are you thinking? The other group I wanted to talk about is the religious right, the Christian coalition. Now, I'm not talking about people that have a belief in God. I'm talking about these extreme folks. You know, they wear their crucifix, and then they go on to tell you about how much they hate everyone who is not the same as them. It's all about hate. It's all about hiding behind their churches. Okay? The veil has been lifted. You no longer have a right to say that you're following Jesus Christ. You're following the teachings of Jesus Christ. I guess any group that believes in the rapture and some God's going to come down, kill everybody, and only take you back to heaven, you know, maybe that's part of your delusional thinking. Maybe that's why you support the most godless man on the freaking planet. So the other group I'm thinking about is the ultra-rich. The people that say, I don't want anybody taking what I have. You know, I worked really hard to get all that I have. And I'm going to hold on to what I have. And Donald Trump is going to give me a break. Well, he probably is going to give you a break. This is a big country. We have wealthy people. We have middle-class people. We have poor people. We have people from all over the world. That's America. And when you think that you're just going to protect your little space and you're going to alienate all these people, ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Right? That's not America. That's not this country. And the last group I wanted to mention, and this is going to sound derogatory, are the people who are just not smart. There are people that are just not smart. They have zero critical thinking skills. They can't separate fact from fiction because they've lived their entire lives like this. You know, one of the benefits of going to school is that you are asked to evaluate things like research. You are asked to put on your critical thinking cap and say, that's real, that's not real, that's something that needs to be looked at even a little bit further. A lot of these Trump supporters are so gullible, have no critical thinking skills whatsoever, that they believe anybody that comes along and tells them these mistruths, these lies. And by the way, Donald Trump lies every single day of his life. Almost everything out of his mouth is a lie. You know, I never thought I'd live long enough to see a lot of people demeaning education, right? Saying higher levels of education are indoctrinating us. No. They're turning us into critical thinkers. This is why, by the way, the Democrats tend to be more educated. Now, I know that's offensive to some of you, right? But if you look at the voting map, look at the voting map. It just looks like a map of various education levels, right? The people that are less educated, they vote for Trump. I'm just a regular guy. But if you have had 9+ years to watch this guy in action, Donald Trump, and you still believe in him, it's time for a little soul searching. It's time to slow down that thought process and think about what you're really doing. Think about what you're doing to your friends, to your neighbors, to your family, and yourself. America is better than this. It really is the best place in the world to live. It really is. If you elect him again, I guarantee you, we will lose so much of the things that have made this country great.